Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, to Amona Gonzalez channel. Today we're gonna discuss um, another subject, which is the step number 4 from the NVC stage, which is the Affidavit of Support. So after paying the fees of the Affidavit of Support and the immigrant visa fees, you need to fill in the application of the Affidavit of Support. So, what is an Affidavit of Support? As I said, the once I mean to get a U.S. immigrant visa, you will most likely need a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent residence to sponsor you, and uh, they need exactly, I mean, the US government, they need exactly to know the person has enough income. That is why they need an affidavit of support from the sponsor for the applicant. So, what is an affidavit of support, or what we call also a Form I 864? So, it's a document that shows the government that the green card applicant will not depend on welfare programs. It's also a contract to support an immigrant, legally enforceable contract. So it's between the sponsor of the applicant and the US government. The sponsor agrees to support the applicant for a certain period of time. This this sponsoring can stop if one of the situation happens. Either the applicant becomes a US citizen, or the applicant works for more than 40 quarters in the US, or if the applicant dies. But it's really rare. Who sign this form? So this form is signed by the petitioner of the applicant, or what we call the sponsor or the principal sponsor, or by a household or joint sponsor. So, who needs an affidavit of support? There are a few immigrant visas for which the applicant needs an affidavit of support. They need the document to get the visa or adjust their status to an lawful permanent residence, and they can be an immediate relative immigrant visa. This includes spouses and married children under 21 years old. Extra. Also, the relative of permanent residence. Also, that can be like uh, mm, like also children, sons or daughters unmarried uh, of this sponsor or of this petitioner. So all those applying for an, also there's like another category, which is people who are applying for employment based immigrant visa, when the petitioner is a US citizen or a legal permanent resident or a US national relative. So I didn't want to talk about who doesn't need the affidavit of support, because the most important right now is that we talk about this affidavit of support, because we're gonna need it at the NVC stage. So There are three kind of affidavit of support forms. The first one, it's called I-864, which is the normal one, affidavit of support under section 213A of the Act. I'm gonna talk later about each one, who's gonna need it and who's gonna fill it. There's also the I-864A, which is the contract between the sponsor and the householder member, and also the I-864 Easy Affidavit of Support under section 213A of Act. It's a simple form of the first form, I-864. I'm gonna talk later about each one, who's gonna fill it and who's gonna need it. I just want to mention something about what are the requirements for the affidavit of support, because to fill in this affidavit of support you will need some conditions. First of all, like, the petitioner must meet the criteria, which is the sponsor must be at least 18 years old. The sponsor must be either US citizen, as I said before, or a legal permanent resident. Also, the sponsor must have a valid US address and live in the United States. And especially this form is asked, like, I'm talking especially about marriage situation, like who filled the 129F, the petition for alien fiance for their own fiance, or who filled the form I-130, petitioner for the alien relative for a family member. The first form that we talk about is the form that we called I-864. So this form, it's filled by the most of the family-based immigrants, and also, as I said before, it's filled by some employment-based immigrants. Why this form? We fill in this form especially to show the US government that our beneficiary or our applicants, they're not gonna rely on the government or to live in the US. It means, like, the petitioner or the sponsor, they're gonna sponsor their staying in the US until, like, a certain period or a certain time. Next form is the form that we call I-864A. That form is the contract between the householder member and the US government. It's used, as I said, by the householder member or the joint sponsor to sponsor or to support the immigrant who's gonna come to the US to live for a certain period of time. The last form is what we call the form I-864 Easy. It's the form that a petitioner or what we call the principal sponsor use to sponsor the immediate relative, like the spouse or kids. And when filled this when this petitioner filled in the US stage the I-130 for relative or the I-129F for the fiancé, there is only one applicant for this form. It's not like the other one. The other one, the I-864, that form, or the second one, the A, it can be filled for more than one person. And the income is based on the petitioner salary, so there's no, like, other income, and that's for purpose to show always that this applicant or this beneficiary is not gonna rely on the US government to stay in the US and live in the US to be like a person relying on the US welfare government. So this is the end of my video today. Hope you like this video, and hope it's gonna be helpful for you guys to getting into the stage of the NVC. That's just like a video of informations about the affidavit of support. I'm gonna make another video about how to fill the affidavit of support that we filled in our NVC stage. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.